To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio. Another beautiful day alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast. Did I just say beautiful within 5 seconds of itself? Like, subscribe, share, donate. Positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. You can hit me up on Instagram at +_sarcasm. Email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. But the easiest way to contact me, comment, live stream, download, article archives, everything PS, the easiest, just go to positivesarcasm.com. There's a contact section. There's all of the video stuff, everything there. All categorized, all the craziness, all the insanity is right from there. So go ahead and just bookmark that. Questions, concerns, comments, you could go right there. But if you prefer to download this podcast or stream it, you can go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, YouTube, and Rumble, also available for the video. This has been one hell of a week. This is a wild one. Just a little, to get it a little personal. No, nothing else that really comes to mind as far as if this is not a funny episode. This isn't one of those. Like last week, I actually had to take a whole week off. It just, there was no time, and quite frankly, there was no energy. It was all sucked out of me so very, very quickly. One of the topics I'll keep a little vague. I mean, the subject matter, I'll keep it real with you. But, as far as the subject topic, I'll keep it people involved vague. And I'll keep it short to the point. This podcast short to the point. But this topic, this one I'm going to open right up to you guys. If you ever want to see you don't want to see this, but if you ever expect a grown man to be essentially curled up in a ball, completely just beside himself, an absolute train wreck of a human, it's when something happens to his dog. Now, before we end the story here, Chase is okay. He is recovering. There has been no surgery. But I'm not going to leave this as drama. He's okay. I will post the picture later on his Instagram. Chase is, if you guys haven't followed this podcast not from the very beginning, but for the last few years now, he's one of my everythings to me. My goal with him is to ensure I can see him right now, curled up on a squishmallow, pretty much sleeping. He was just protesting because he wants to go do stuff, and I want to finish recording this so we can move on with the day. It's actually kind of nice to see this angle where I'm talking about him, and I can see him resting comfortably. But these pictures, it all started Friday morning. This is a photo of essentially his body. This is an X-ray. If you're watching this podcast, there's an X-ray. Now, this X-ray I'm putting up doesn't show anything. Okay, actually, now that I look at it again, it does, but it's just out of frame. Friday night was, he didn't seem completely like himself, but maybe he was just tired or something. Saturday morning is when everything went to hell. It started by, he had started hacking throughout the week. That was symptom number one, was trying to cough something up. I literally tried stuffing my fingers down his throat to see if I could pull something up. Maybe he had a piece of grass stuck in his ear. or in his throat or something, because dogs eat grass and then they get something stuck in their teeth, and you're like in there and you're like, bleh. And that was Thursday. He was fine. So he was running about, chasing rabbits, doing everything he should do. He's a very active animal. Thursday started favoring an ear, but he was still running around, sprinting and everything. He was fine, but now he has two symptoms: favoring an ear, he's got something in it, and he's got this persistent hack. So there's two symptoms. Saturday morning hits. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready to, go do some work at the gym. A little bit of work, nothing special. I try to get him out of bed. Doesn't really want to get out of bed. I make him his whole breakfast and everything like that. Doesn't touch a bit of it. So now we've got hacking, favoring his ear, and no appetite. And it looked, and that's three symptoms. And the fourth symptom was extreme lethargy. So lethargic, basically, if you don't know the word, means just disinterested, exhausted, depressed looking, just didn't, complete disinterest with life. The fifth one is what scared me. Imbalance. His equilibrium was off. I don't know if it was due to what was in his ear or whatnot, if there was anything in his ear, but now we've got 5 symptoms here. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, let me take him to the park. I love taking him to the park. That's his place where he goes and he sniffs and he jogs and he runs and he gallops and he just bounces about, and that's his life, and he gets that energy. And it's a big place. It's a huge place, and it's a whole island to itself. And he just runs about, and this is where he gets his energy, his fitness, where he stays lean. I have to increase his food intake now by a significant amount, because he's lost a ton of weight to the point where he's now underweight. Because when I got him, he was 72 pounds. He's dropped 20 pounds. So it's too much. So yeah, he's now been, since bulking, he's already put on 1.5 pounds. So we're going to keep that going till he gets closer to 60, and then we're going to stop right there. But he's healthy as far as he's healthy. I know this, but I'll explain it to him more. I've got 5 symptoms. I take him to the park. Very disinterested to get out of bed. Very disinterested to get out, just into the car. I try to get him out of the car. He's walking. But he's walking so slow. So slow. I'm already nervous. I'm like, he's a young pup. It's what's going on here. And he is walking very slowly, not really wanting to smell anything. Just kind of, I don't know, like he's not in there. Just kind of can't get him to finish the loop. So at this point, logic is starting to fall. The logic in my brain is starting to lose its grip, and now emotion is starting to take over. So when you are, and this is, I think I would give this as advice to anybody, and you can try to consult me on this if you'd like, but I think that when your logic and your reasoning and your ability to make sense and have control over a situation, when that grip starts to really loosen and your emotions start to take over to the point where you are not in control, that's when you need help. I knew then, I believed emotionally then and there, I was not able to figure out what was going on with my boy. My everything. Women got to realize, though, when if your man has a dog, you got to know something. And you got to be, just know. If your man has a dog, there's an attachment there. You just got to understand it. It's something different. Okay. Just watch John Wick. First of all, John Wick is about his wife died, gave him a dog. They killed the dog, and then he went and killed the whole world. All right. That's John Wick's dog right there. Okay. My emotions were taking over. I didn't know what to do. All right. I got around 5 symptoms. I take him to the vet. I don't take him to just any vet. I take him to a emergency care clinic. Shout out to, I think it's VECC. I take him there. I walk in. I told him what's going on, and I'm already losing it. Like, I'm already starting to lose emotional control. Can he be seen? Lady said, bring him in. So I go to the car, and I put a leash on him. I help him out of the car, and he walks in under his own power because he likes the leash, because the leash means we're going for like a walk or something. I bring him in. Right, JC? Right, good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah. You eyeballing me? Are you waiting for mommy to get home? We'll go for a ride later? Okay. Anyways. Bring him in. We go into a room. He's already kind of, he hasn't realized where he is right now. He's just sort of walking into a building. So he's just excited to have the leash on him and things like that and blah, blah, blah. And we walk in, we go into the room, and I weigh him, get his weigh. We go in, sit down with, there's a tech who comes in, asks some questions. She starts pointing maybe like the hacking. So I start grabbing YouTube videos about like kennel cough and things like that, and then try to understand that. But kennel cough, apparently if it gets worse, it can turn into pneumonia. And it's like, okay, that helped me a little bit, but I started to fall apart because it wasn't kennel cough. Because kennel cough is very treatable, blah, blah, blah. And I told them all the symptoms. And then they said, we have to run more tests. And that's when I curled up into a ball. I wouldn't look at any of the nurses. I wouldn't look at anyone, any of the doctors or nothing. I just curled up. They asked me if you want to, take off or anything like that. I said, I'm not going anywhere. I am not leaving him. So they separated me from him. Not, involuntarily, like they forced me. It's just like they needed to bring him somewhere so they could do tests and things like that and x-rays. And I'm like, okay. I thought that he was in danger. He was in bad shape. Like I thought he was dying or something. I thought he had Lyme disease or something. I don't know. But he had so many symptoms and they weren't sure. And I just said, do whatever's necessary. I didn't care about the bill. I mean, they're like, it's going to cost like $2,000. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Here, I'm like, I didn't even care. I'm like, just, I know it's going to cost money. I don't care. I signed I'm like, here. I said, I'm like, just help him. Figure out what's wrong with him and figure out what's okay. Okay, we'll go over the estimates with you. I just basically grabbed the fucking paperwork, signed it, gave it back to him, and I said, I will be here. And I went into this. I think this place used to be a restaurant or something. And I went and sat in this little booth, and I just curled up in a ball and put my hat down. I was expecting to go to the gym, and it didn't happen. So I had like gym clothes on. I'm wearing like sweatpants and a jacket and a hat, and I just put my brim down, and I just started just falling apart. It was about, I don't know. It felt like a fucking eternity, but I'm just going to assume it was probably an hour. They ran every test imaginable. Urine, blood, x-rays. They ran everything. They checked for Lyme disease. They checked for pneumonia. They checked for kennel cough. They checked for formations in his ear, abnormalities, all the tests you could imagine. But they found nothing in the fluids. There was nothing wrong with him. I've done everything. It turns out I've done everything I possibly can to take care of my boy. No rabies. Nothing. So the doctor finally comes out, and I literally, with my head down, I just say to her, is he going to be okay? Yes or no? That's all I gave a damn about. Nothing. I don't care. I didn't care at that point. Everything else stopped. And I just asked that question. Is my boy gonna be okay? And she replied back, yes, he's going to be fine. And that was when I actually broke down, because the relief of a lot of the weight just came off. Knowing that I may not be going down this road of just utter despair. Like I didn't give you your full life. I didn't give you your full life. I didn't do my job. I failed you. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see the signs. This is my fault. I didn't have to go down that road. So, I didn't get the x-rays until later, but I have them now. The one I have up right now is just a picture of, it shows his heart. It's a big, beautiful heart. Boy, if a dog ever had a heart, this one does. They showed me they didn't show me the x-rays, but this one doesn't show anything. This one does. Shows his rib cage, his spine, his lower back, his legs, everything. First of all, beautiful looking dog. But if you zoom in, what the fuck is that? Clear as day. In a piece of food, a fucking staple. That son of a... First of all, there's only two ways he's getting a staple. Apparently, now, for the record, this is in his intestines. Like, this is in his gut. Like, he chewed on this. He's gonna... Is it now... Is it in his... Is it stuck? Well... No, it's apparently not. It's in a piece of food. But how? So, it was either in like a chew toy, which I don't think that's possible. I don't think chew toys are allowed to have staples. It was he either ate it, because this dog goes with me everywhere. Everywhere, you understand that? This is a 24-hour day kinship. 24 hours. Okay? bed, on the road, back to the gym, back home. Everywhere. Okay? So he either licked it off the floor. And now I don't know if this is I don't know if this is I don't think it's an industrial staple. I think it's she said it's a construction staple. Here's another picture of it. Showing basically hit the top of him from the back. So it is either a standard like stapler staple or a staple gun staple. He either ate it off the floor, or something more sinister. When people feed him treats from time to time, some people do this. Some people are sick fucks and they do this. They put like either poisonous material or sharp materials in like dog treats, and they go to the dog park and they feed dogs these. They actually do that. Do I believe that happened? It's less than likely. This happened most likely was just an accident. Because God help the person whoever decided they wanted to try and poison my dog or stick sharp objects in it, because I might just cut your head off. Okay. That's when logic once again goes out the door. But in either case, this staple was found in his stomach. She said it was probably causing him some severe irritation, some real uncomfortableness. And the nausea from that, it was probably causing his lack of appetite. And in order for him to pass this, he's going to have to, he's going to have to eat. So the only way you're going to get him to eat is to get that nausea down, to stop the nausea. So they gave, I have the paperwork here, but I want to just see here. Let me just take this down for a quick second. Actually, no, I'll just leave it up. Fuck it. We're in it, so. Believe I have the shit open. Here it is. Oh, okay. It was, what did they give him? Blah, blah, blah. Decreased, problemless, lethargic, ear flickering, cough, dry hacking. Yep. And then there's a prescription for... First of all, heartworm, negative. Lyme, negative. Ehrlichia, negative. Anaplasma, negative. Amazing. Let me see here. It should be right here what they gave me for drugs. Cernia? Is that what it was? Generally normal, but has a metallic. Discussed findings. What the name is that? What's the name of that fucking drug? There it is. Yeah, Cerenia. Jesus Christ. Cerenia. For nausea and vomiting, give 1 tablet every once daily for every 24 hours as needed. This is basically so that he can get his appetite back. So I've been sitting there basically a giant fucking mess for hours now. I started this nightmare at 7 o'clock in the morning and did not finish until about noon. So I've been a pile of shit for most of the day. All because of this nightmare. All because of this goddamn staple. What a beautiful puppy. But that staple, man, that is what sent me into a downward spiral. It's amazing what a little thing can do and what the side effects, the cascading effects it can have on somebody. But everything else like that happened. And essentially, here's what the doctor wrote, that he was presented for generally not feeling well. Hacking cough. We ran blood work, which was normal. Took x-rays of his chest and abdomen. There was no signs of bronchitis which they had generally expected. They thought it was kennel cough, but they ran the tests. Chest was normal. In his abdomen, there was a mixture of food material in the small intestine, along with a metal staple. Does not appear to be obstructed or puncturing anything of that at this time, but it is likely to be a bit irritating as it moves along. For the next day, please walk Chase every couple hours. Oh, well, absolutely. To encourage his gut to keep moving. Short walks are fine. Also feed him a high fiber food to try to encourage his gut to move. Whole wheat bread. Whole wheat bread. That's weird. Asparagus. Okay. Cooked white rice. Lots of it. Well, I definitely went with that. With his regular jaw. Okay. Yeah. White rice for sure. Matter of fact, that's going to be in there for a long time, I think. But yeah, cooked. Yeah. He's been eating the fuck out of rice, and he loves it. So he's been doing that. I'm pretty sure that's doing the trick. They said if he was on this Serenia they give him 4 tablets, take one a day. 4 tablets, take one a day. And then he became like this zombie. And I did some Reddit research, and apparently a lot of dogs who take Serenia, it's an anti-nausea medication, but I mean, when you give a person medication, it's one thing. This medication probably is something they give to adults too, but you give that to a dog. I mean, that's 1,000. They react. They really do react. And he became a zombie, an absolute zombie. He slept a lot. His ear was still flickering, and he wasn't really himself. But he was eating. He was eating. He was sleeping. He was living. That's what I cared about. So that Saturday, he took his first piece of medication. Sunday, same thing. He was a little fried, but still going, still taking him for walks, light walks, relaxing, just trying to be with him. Monday, still on the meds. Tuesday was the last day on the meds. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That was his last med. Hasn't thrown up. Still stable, but clearly still tired and blah, blah, blah. All right. Wednesday's the first day off of meds. Still not really running. He's stable. He's quiet. Not barking. Not jumpy. Whenever he would try to maybe get a little speed, he'd flick his ear, favor his ear. Little pain in his ear too, but the pain is starting to subside. And he was still moving and walking, but he was just kind of ginger. Like his equilibrium was off. His balance wasn't quite there to where he felt comfortable with just going for, a nice brief jog or a run. Maybe the medication was still in his system to the point where he was groggy and everything. And that was rough for me. So Thursday morning hits. First of all, I definitely checked all of it. Everything that he was doing, all the food he was digesting, I checked everything. I didn't find that goddamn staple. But then again, I don't think I was looking for an industrial staple. I was probably looking for, probably just a regular stapler staple. Thursday afternoon, I take him back to the park. He seems happy. Seems kind of, panting nicely. Ear was still a little bit of an issue. I get him to the park. We get out. I'm still a nervous wreck for the last several days. I'm still a little nervous that morning. It's like, is he going to be okay? The drug's going to wear off? Is he going to, relapse? We get about just through the entrance, and we get up. He gets up this little hill. I'm encouraging him to, come on, buddy, let's go. And sure enough, he starts to jog a little, like a gallop, a Saul gallop. And the gallop turned into a jog, and then the jog, all of a sudden, he just starts taking off. Not a full sprint, but to the point where it's like you got to have balance. And the seeing him, like, he went for a short run, like an actual like run though, like he was sprinting. And when I saw him do that, my heart broke open. It was such a joy and a relief to see him run, to see him healthy, that I didn't want to overdo it because I knew there was probably still some recovery there. But the very idea that he was, I think, going to be okay was the moment for me. Because if that staple was still in his stomach, it would cause irritation, and the irritation would cause him to either throw up or he would have symptoms. And his symptoms are decreasing rapidly, and they are almost all gone. I think I gave him a bath this morning, and he, still hates baths, but he was cooperative. He stood up the whole time. He did slip in the bathtub, but then again, fucking this super slippery. We all slip in the bathtub, and he was fine. He came with me today. He's gonna come with me tonight, and I think he's gonna be all right. But man, the emotions of I had to skip a whole week to kind of understand all this. It was very exhausting. This whole thing, and I want to share that with you because this was as real as it gets, for him and for me. So he's resting comfortably. He's almost back. He's like 90% back to his old self. Waiting for whatever is in his ear to pass. I have ear stuff solution that I put in there. He hates it when stuff's in his ear though. He flips out the minute he feels like water droplets in his ear. He fucking loses his mind. But you got to hold it in there and kind of like rub it in. But they checked his ears. They're clean. They're clean. They're clear. There's no obstructions. It was just like, I don't get it. And it's like amazing that one little staple could cause this much of a fiasco, a severe turn of events. Obviously, if it caused a tear in his intestines, we'd be, there was one option. He either passes it or surgery. I don't know what kind of surgery, but surgery introduces all kinds of different variables. Scared the shit out of me. But I'm glad that he's okay. And it's important to share with you whenever there's been like a crazy twist or turn in my life, that these things that affect me. I can't compartmentalize that. Well, I can compartmentalize to an extent, but this one breaks the barrier between what happens in this studio and then what happens in real life. And that one directly affects everything that happens on this microphone. Absolutely, 100%, without a doubt, pierces that veil and brings it right to this microphone. And you need to know that about me, because it's like when it comes to above and beyond, it's like I will go to fucking hell armed with nothing but a fucking fork to protect what is mine, to save what is mine. That's it. I will go down fighting. It is my life before his. And it's not like I need to prove that. It's like I will prove that. I don't need to prove it to you because I need to prove something. It's like I'm going to prove it to you because it needed to be done because I thought his life was in danger. But for those of you not sure what to do in this scenario, it's like, well, I mean, maybe you could have waited until it passed, but if he's not eating, that's a problem. That's dangerous. If he's not eating, that's dangerous, and that can't stand, not for a second. So that's when the alarm bells. And obviously, and he also had a fever on top of that. So there's like 6 symptoms that something is horribly wrong. So I acted. I just fucking swiped that card and I said, go save him. Go figure out what's wrong with him and tell me what to do afterwards. And you know what? Maybe I did save his life. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was he's going to have a bad few days and he's going to be right as rain in a week or two. Or maybe I did. But ultimately, he definitely saved my sanity. Over the past several years, he saved my sanity. And come hell or high water, I'm going to protect him. So, yeah, there you go. Long story short, dog got a staple in his tummy. Caused him to have 6 symptoms that looked critical. Took him to the ER. They ran $2,000 worth of tests. And he's going to be all right. I will continue to monitor him. But I think for now, we're going to rest on the note that, it's going to be all right. And because he's going to be all right, I'm going to be all right. But I'll post that picture on his Instagram just to let you know what scared the living you get a better idea of what scared the living shit out of me. And then I love him to death. I really do. But it's a beautiful day. He deserves a beautiful evening. So if you have any questions, concerns, or comments about him, but definitely the drugs definitely made him groggy and everything like that, and that really fucked him up for the remainder of the couple of days. But once I think those drugs started to wear off, his balance started to return, his energy started to return, and ultimately his old self came out, and he was happy, he was pawy, he was just ready to go. And then when he started playing with the disc and the frisbee again, I was like, oh, that's my boy. It was just pure joy. It's pure joy. Adopt, don't shop. So follow him at Chase Michael. If you follow +_sarcasm on Instagram, you should be able to find him as well. I post pictures of him every time I go to on my story. Pictures of him, standing atop of the sunrise. So you can go ahead and follow him through there. It's pretty awesome. Beautiful pictures. If you want to donate to his rehab bill, you can just go. I'm not hurting. I'm fine. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to support this podcast and ultimately support JC Wasey, you can go ahead, +sarcasm.com/donate. Once again, +sarcasm.com/donate. Any amount's appreciated. I'm not starting a GoFundMe. I'm not doing that. Okay? I'm just saying, if you want to support things in general, that's where you go. +sarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated just in general. Questions, concerns, or comments, you can go ahead and hit me up on my website, +sarcasm.com. You can also DM me through Instagram at +_sarcasm. Anyways, I think I'm going to skip the other topic because I'm just, anything having to do with Chase, it just fucking kills me. It either fills me full of love or just kills me. So, just wanted to give you that update. He's okay. He's okay. And because he's okay, I'm going to be all right. Okay? So, there you go. Just wanted to report that to you. If you guys need anything, you know where to find me. +sarcasm.com. That's it. We're just going to kind of stumble our way out of this episode. Thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. And I'll catch up with you guys next week. So, yeah. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation. Chase, you want to go outside?